Bismillah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een. Amma ba'd. Alhamdulillah, we are experiencing the barakat and the blessings in the month of Ramadan. Amongst the blessings of Ramadan, that it has nisbah and attribution to many great personalities who came into this earthly life and many who left. Many of the incidents and waqi'ats, like you were hearing about Battle of Badr and others. Amongst those blessings which Ramadan actually contained, that Allah Azza wa Jal revealed the Quran in Ramadan, and also Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala sent one of the great personalities, as Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi wa alihi wasallam mentioned in one hadith, that you will never go astray if you hold on to Quran, which is the book of Allah, and my descendant and my family of Ahlul Bayt, which meant Sayyidina Ali Karramal Wajhul Kareem, Imam Hassan radiallahu anhu, Sayyidina Imam Hussain, Imam Zain al-Abidin, and those are following their path from the Ahlul Bayt. So this means that just theory and just knowledge is not sufficient to guide a person. A person always needs a personality. That is the reason Allah Jalla Majduhu never sent a book, a revelation, a wahi, a book alone, without a person. Always there was a prophet, and upon the teachings were revealed, so he would explain and show people. Similarly, thereafter Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam didn't mention that, okay, if you follow the Quran you will be guided, but he mentioned in one of the hadiths that the Quran and Ahlul Bayt, Quran and his Sunnah. Sunnah refers to where the Sunnah was recorded. Sunnah was, there was no books for the Sunnah. It was the Sahaba Ikram, because actually Quran was in a written form. The books of Hadith, the very famous one like Imam Bukhari and Muslim, they were almost written 200 years before. The first one, Imam Malik rahmatullah alayhi, he also passed away in the 2nd century. Mota Imam Malik. So at that time of early time of Sahaba Rizwanullah alayhim ajma'in, there were no books of ahadith as such. So this means where were the ahadith, where was the Sunnah? Sunnah were in the Sahaba Ikram, in the companions. Otherwise, when Prophet Islam said, follow me, the Quran and my Sunnah, Sunnah was the action of the Prophet ﷺ, but where were they preserved? The Quranic words were revealed to Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Where were they preserved? Mostly in the hearts, in the book, on bones it was written, on stone it was written, and then furthermore on the paper it was written. That's where they were recorded. Revealed from Allah, recorded on the things and the hearts. Now the Sunnah, where was the Sunnah written? The prophetic way. The Sunnah was written not on bones and stones. Sunnah was instilled in the companions and Ahlul Bayt, meaning the people who were close to him, the most Inside the house were Ahlul Bayt, and outside it was the companion. So basically, if you bring those both of hadith together, that in one hadith the Prophet ﷺ mentioned, follow, you won't go astray if you follow Quran and my Sunnah, and another my Ahlul Bayt, it almost means the same thing, because it is meaning personalities who were with the Prophet ﷺ. Be it the Sahaba. So the Sunnah, where were preserved, it was preserved in the Sahaba and Ahlul Bayt. And here Rasulullah ﷺ clearly mentioned Ahlul Bayt, his blessed family, Sayyidah Fatima al-Zahra, and Sayyidina Imam Hassan, and Imam Sayyidina Hussein, and as I mentioned, in extension also those who followed Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Sahaba Ikram. So we have this ideology given by the Prophet ﷺ, that the person who will be on guidance will be who's following Quran, but which Quran, what understanding of the Quran which the Prophet ﷺ transferred to Sahaba Rizwanullah Majma'in and Ahlul Bayt Rizwanullah alayhim Majma'in. So amongst those personalities, one of those personalities, great personalities, who was born on the 15th of Ramadan is Sayyidina Imam Hassan bin Ali radiyallahu ta'ala anhuma. Yani the grandson of Sayyidina Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the son of Sayyidah Fatima al-Zahra, and the grandson of a great personality which you already have heard about, Sayyidah Khadija al-Kubra radiyallahu ta'ala anha. Her daughter is Sayyidah Fatima and radiyallahu anha, and her son is then Sayyidina Ali. So he has a grandmother who also have nisbah in this month, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Sayyidina Ali karramallahu wajhul kareem, and all. Now this personality was such that Prophet ﷺ named him the good one, the best one, Hassan, the beautiful one, who had beautiful character, beautiful physique and features, because the Sahaba Ikram Rizwanullah alayhim Majma'in, they say there was no one amongst the men resembling more Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in his blessed face, in his blessed arms and shoulders and the upper body than Sayyidina Imam Hassan bin Ali radiyallahu anhu. Those Sahaba Ikram who had seen Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam, and then when Prophet alayhi salam passed away, and their thirst, their yearning, their love, and they were actually restless due to that they could not see the Prophet ﷺ, they would come and find where Sayyidina Imam Hassan radiallahu anhu is. Looking at him, speaking to him, sitting with him, they could find the fragrance, they could feel the reflection of same feelings which they used to feel in the company of the Prophet ﷺ. Because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was mentioned about him, is not a pious person, a righteous person only, or actually in any way. He said that if we count, meaning of the hadith is that if we see all the people from Adam alayhi salam to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam who came pious and the righteous people, and up to day of judgment, up to the coming of Imam Mahdi, Imam Hassan is the prince of all of these pious and the righteous, because he, the Prophet ﷺ said, Sayyida Shabab Ahlil Jannah, his brother, and his Prophet ﷺ mentioned Imam Hassan and Hussein, both are not that they will go into paradise. In paradise, sinful people might be given entry due to the intercession, due to the fadl of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, due to repentance. All Muslims eventually who have Iman will enter the paradise. But entering paradise is something else. Being a prince of paradise is something else. Like in UK, for example, in many states, everyone is living, the beggars are living in UK. The other people have visa, you might have nationality, but then there is the president, or then there is the prime minister, or is the prince. Now that is different status. That's not only he said I live in UK because I applied for visa of nationality, but prince is prince. Dunya is nothing as such because it's perishable. But Jannah, in which actually the standard is that such high ranking people firstly will enter, and amongst those high ranking, Imam Hassan bin Ali radiallahu anhu will be the prince of paradise. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Hassan and Hussein, they are princes of paradise, and their father is better than them. Meaning Sayyidina Ali karramallahu wajhah al-kareem, and their mother. So he had the most beautiful character, most actually beautiful, as I said, physically, the name Hassan. Normally, the Prophet ﷺ would not like those names which actually mention, which actually boast about something, piety and righteousness. But these are personalities, he confirmed that they deserve these names. Like saying Ali means high, it is the name of Allah. But because he had these qualities in him, that actually he was amongst the servants of Allah, he had a high level servant and worshipper. Similarly, Imam Hassan radiallahu anhu. Now, just learning from him, inshallah I will continue after. Just one point, actually we learn from Sayyidina Imam Hassan radiallahu anhu is that his companions, his students, they say that from the time of doing wudu, like we do wudu, minor ablution, up to the ending of the prayer, he was a different person at all. He was a transformed person. He's that a person who doesn't know you. He is in another world. He is in another thought. People would see him, his facial features, his color will change, his body will be in the awe of Allah Jalla Majduhu. Since the time of doing wudu up to the prayers, up to the when the salah ends. So this shows the inner connection that when me and you are going somewhere, or we are going for interview, we have this, we are going to be presented in front of judge or in a police officer, we have a kind of transformation, we think differently, we act differently. And now me and you are doing wudu, thinking about worldly matters, just talking about him, oh, I have to go to work and here, there, even from the wudu to actually prayer. That's why there's not much devotion in salah, actually, how it is. And then it's toward the end, there's not much difference. So this means, this is one lesson which we can learn, that okay, you are working, you are doing, give time. Give time to whoever what you are giving time to. If you are eating, give time to eating. Enjoy your eating. Live the moment. But now, after work, you've been working 8 hours, 9 hours, 4 hours. Now it is time for salah. Now give time to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The thoughts to Allah, the energy completely. Okay, when you have lunch, give time to lunch. When you have work, give time to work. When you are with family, give time to family. But when you are to offer salah, 5-10 minutes, whatever, then completely absorb in the presence of Allah is with me. If you don't know anything, just think about this. Allah is with me. He is seeing me and will see me when I will be in worship. And He will hear me when I speak. And He knows what is in my heart and what I am going to actually gain. So these 3-4 thoughts even transform a person. And many other teachings, inshallah, those of you who have time, I will mention after. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala firstly enable myself to love these personalities and emulate these personalities. And may Allah azza wa jal grant us their shafa'ah, intercession on the Day of Judgment. subhanahu wa ta'ala. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Please offer.